Elizabeth Jane Cochran, who later became known as Nellie Bly, was born in Cochran's Mill, Pennsylvania, on May 5, 1864. As one of 15 children, she had always wanted to differentiate herself from her siblings. When she became a teen, she added an E to her last name in order to appear more sophisticated. She eventually was able to attend boarding school. However, following her father's death in 1870, she was forced to leave boarding school and moved to Pittsburgh with her mother. Little did she know that this move would lead to her career in journalism. In response to an article titled "What Girls Are Good For," Nellie Bly wrote a fiery response that was later published in the Pittsburgh Dispatch. The team of journalists for the Dispatch were impressed by her talent and decided to hire her on to the team of journalists. It was there that her journey towards becoming one of the earliest and well-known women journalists in history began. The story that launched Bly's career in journalism was The Girl Puzzle, which she wrote in response to the "What Girls Are Good For" article that emphasized how a woman's place in society was solely within the home. In this article, she advocated for a woman's right to work. More work and less talk, Bly stated. As she grew as a journalist, she sought to highlight the negative treatment of her female counterparts and to counteract ideologies that restricted women in society. Nellie Bly created the concept of gonzo journalism, a style of journalism that is written without claims of objectivity. Many of her articles were written in first person and included personal opinions. Bly was never afraid to include her own opinions about the subject at hand. Nellie Bly utilized undercover journalism as a way to investigate and expose the mistreatment of American citizens. Her most famous work took place when she reported on an asylum. Through this piece, she was able to pioneer the conversation about mental health and the treatment of patients. Her investigation helped lead to significant changes in treatment of patients. Furthermore, in 1889, Bly sought out to break the fictional record set by character Phileas Fogg in Jules Verne's book Around the World in 80 Days. Bly was successful where she completed her trip in 72 days, 6 hours, and 11 minutes. Additionally, Bly's work and determination within the journalism field changed the view on a woman's role outside of the home, which ultimately helped advance the suffragette movement during the early 20th century. The women's suffrage movement actually began in 1848, when a women's rights convention was held in Seneca Falls, New York. While this was not the first meeting to be held in support of women's suffrage, it was regarded as the meeting that sparked the movement. Over the next 50 years, women's suffrage supporters worked to educate the public about the validity of women's suffrage. Nellie Bly was one of those women. For example, when she went undercover to report on the corruption occurring within an asylum, her methodology and results shocked the public. As a result, this supported the idea that women could have successful careers and take part in society as a whole. No female reporter had ever been so audacious, so determined, so willing to sacrifice her own safety in the pursuit of a story, said Matthew Goodman. Thus, Bly helped motivate other women to take action, which resulted in the formation of different suffragette organizations that acted as the basis for getting the women the right to vote. Her writing came to an end in 1922 when she contracted pneumonia and died at the age of 57, 3 years after women got the right to vote. Nellie Bly was a catalyst for the journalism industry and the suffragette movement. She pioneered a new path for women to pursue professional careers while advocating for women's rights. But she didn't stop there. She remained a steadfast ally to other groups of citizens and continually wrote in pursuit of recognition for their experiences. Her legacy has continued to live on and has led to investigative journalism becoming an important staple of modern journalism. Her bravery inspired journalists to continue to fight for what was right, even if it was dangerous or society had told them differently.